We are live here at Impact Deliverance Center, and we are coming from School of Deliverance in Heathrow, Lake Mary, and that's right outside of Orlando, Florida. Well, today, thank you for joining with us at Impact Deliverance Center here in Heathrow, Lake Mary. My name is Prophetess Paula Loblack, and today I'm going to be interviewing Olga Marcelo from Maryland. Well, Olga has been here with us for 2 months, exactly 2 months, Sister Olga, you've been here? She has been here with us at our School of Deliverance Counseling and Empowerment Mentoring Program. So she has been a part of our Deliverance Counseling and Mentoring Program. And we had a powerful 2 months. It was a very intense 2 months, sorting out issues and problems. And today we just want to bring this live video to you so you can have a little bit more insight in what we do here at Impact Deliverance Center in our School of Deliverance program, so you can have a deeper insight, and then you can have an understanding of what God is doing here with His people. So Olga, I welcome you on this broadcast this morning on our School of Deliverance show. And you know, we have people here from, where are you from?
Dominican Republic.
She is from the Dominican Republic, and you have been here with us for 2 months. It was such a blessing having you at Impact Deliverance Center and having you as a part of our program here on Deliverance Counseling and Empowerment Mentorship Program. And I know it was a great sacrifice for you, coming from Maryland, being here for 2 months at the center, working on some issues with your daughter and with your personal self. So we welcome you, Olga, and I'm going to miss you. You are leaving on Tuesday, and I am really going to miss you, and that's for sure. I am going to miss you. You've been a great soldier here at the center. I've seen you develop right before my eyes. Your willingness to fight, your willingness to work on your personal life. So today, we have viewers, you're going to speak in Spanish sometimes, so if we have listeners that is going to be listening to us in Spanish. And but Olga, tell us, first of all, what prompted you to be a part of our School of Deliverance program? Our Deliverance Counseling and Empowerment program. What prompted you to be a part of it?
Well, the Holy Spirit now, like for the last 4 years, has been dealing with me to get deeper with God and to seek deliverance, to be set free from mindsets, from bad habits, and from things that were blocking me from seeking God, from praying, from fasting, from not having the pain or the anger toward other people. And all those issues, I was crying out for God for help. And the Lord one day just put in my heart, we just Google in Maryland. Like my daughter is in Maryland, she also needs, she's in the program here also. But before that day, she was not, and she needed a lot of help. And my heart was broken because of what she was going through, a lot of depression, and the Holy Spirit just put in my heart, Google in Orlando Deliverance Ministry, and I Googled, and I was surprised to find it in Google, and I saw the pastor's ministry and her phone number. I called her, I couldn't wait. I called her. She was in California, was it?
I was in California, yeah.
She was working over there for a couple of days, and she said, yeah, give your daughter my phone number, and that's how everything happened. So to me, it's an answer to prayer, to a lot of prayer. I have been here in this country for 22 years, and I had not heard any ministry doing what you're doing,
really?
Pastor Paula. I do not have words to appreciate what you're doing, the way that you are giving your life to God to help people and to really teach them what it is to have a real relationship with God. And I know maybe I had not shown it in the days I have been here, but it is a miracle to me that God had put us together, because you go to churches and pastors, they do not know anything. Most of them, they have no clue what it means, or they do not believe that you need that kind of help. They do not believe that Christians are tied up that way by the enemy, and well, they can't help you because they don't have it.
Well, Olga, what I would like our listeners to know, how did the Deliverance Counseling and Empowerment Mentorship Program help you? What did it do for you? What we want to bring that out. What did it do for you? And if you can speak a little bit in Spanish also, so our listeners
I'm gonna explain in Spanish first.
Right.
Bienvenidos a todas las personas de habla hispana. La pastora Paula tiene un ministerio de liberación que hace coaching, que te ayuda a disciplinarte, te ayuda, te enseña cómo tener una relación con Dios, te enseña cómo vencer las ataduras del enemigo en tu vida, cosas que necesitamos los cristianos. Al final del video vamos a poner la información para que puedan llamar si necesitan la ayuda de ella.
Sister Olga.
So what the ministry did for me?
Yes. So in English, what did the Deliverance Counseling and Empowerment Program, what did it do for you? I mean, how did it help you?
Well, your teachings are empowering me to be able to seek the Lord the way I should seek the Lord. It's empowering me, it's teaching me, like I said before, a real relationship with God. It's giving me the tools I need to be able to fight the enemy and to come out from depression, to come out from the wrong mindsets, from the spirit of religiosity. The Lord has been showing me what was blocking me from growing my relationship with Him, and teaching me about, it's teaching you like from zero. It's teaching you from zero.
It was a big sacrifice for you coming from Maryland to be here at the center with us for 2 months and working on mother and daughter session. I mean, your daughter has been here. She went to college here in Orlando, and then she chose to remain in Orlando, and she got married. And you all had some, in order for her to become successful within her marriage, there was issues between you and her. And we've had some powerful coaching sessions and counseling sessions together, mother and daughter. And how important it is, I think, for mother and daughter, father and son, to just work on themselves just by, sometimes we say, just go to church, God will take care of it. Is that true? I mean,
no.
Is that true? Like, you have been in church all your life, and we say, just going to go into church, get a prayer, and God will take care of it. I mean, explain that.
Well, I learned those weeks I have been here, that today, really, that we carried all of this from generation to generation, how you say it?
The patterns and the cycles.
The cycles and the
habits.
Courses from generation. And then I need to seek help. I need to be delivered and keep seeking God to be completely delivered, because then the Lord is going to break in my daughter this pattern, these courses are going to be broken in her life as I obey God and do what I need to do to keep seeking my deliverance. Because
you are the breaker for your family. You are the breaker for your children. So the more we obey God, the more we surrender our lives to God. We give our children a sense of purpose and a sense of destiny as we ourselves line up with the will of God for our lives. We give our children, our generation, we give them something. We have to give them something to look up to know at least there was somebody in the generation that obeyed God. They didn't just go to church religiously, to say we just follow the religious rituals and the religious programs and the ritual, but we actually line ourselves to God's will for our lives. We actually move in God's purpose for our lives by breaking generational curses, by breaking cycles, because generational curses are it's like cycles, breaking cycles and patterns, and we die into the flesh, die into the things of this world, and basically surrendering our lives to God. What would you say to the Spanish community, and even to the English speaking people? What would you say about counseling? Do you think that counseling and coaching and mentorship is important for the body of Christ? It's a
lifesaver. You want me to say in Spanish?
Yeah.
Ella me preguntó ahorita, me estuvo preguntando que yo aprendí, que qué importancia tiene los padres con los hijos. Entonces yo le estuve diciendo lo que ya ella me ha enseñado aquí, de que nosotros los padres tenemos todas las maldiciones generacionales y es nuestra responsabilidad seguir buscando a Dios y buscar la liberación, porque ahí Dios va a romper las ataduras en nuestros hijos también, para que vengan las bendiciones de Dios en la vida de nuestros hijos también.
Do you think that the deliverance counseling helped you?
I could not do it without it. I could not do it.
What do you mean?
That's why.
Let's open it a little bit. Let's explore it. Look at what do you mean?
Well, for like 2 years, I went to another church that did some type of little in the surface deliverance that helped me a little, but I was stuck there. And I was crying out to God, and I could not do it on my own. I needed coaching. This is just the beginning. So I need discipline. I need coaching, teaching. I need somebody to be with me, having me accountable, helping me to be accountable to that person and to God, first of all. So it's like a little kid. If you don't teach the kid to be clean or be organized and be respectful, they are not going to do it on their own. They can't. If we don't teach them, they need us, the parents. So to me, it's a lifesaver. I could not do it without the ministry on my own.
You see, what we want to bring up, we have to, I always try to get testimonies from our students, our clients here at the Impact Deliverance Center, School of Deliverance. And we want to be able to bring these live videos and these live broadcasts so people can understand we are not ashamed of what Jesus Christ has done for us and what he's doing for us, because deliverance is like ice cream. Deliverance is the children's bread. The Bible says that deliverance is the children's bread. That's why Jesus died. And when I see you transform right before my eyes, I mean the issues that were blocking you and your daughter. And here at Impact Deliverance Center, we are a hospital. It's a rehabilitation center, one at a time, and spending quality time to sort yourself out. So you came here for 2 months, and this is what we want to bring up. You came here for 2 months sorting out your issues on a weekly basis. I mean, did I spend time with you? How did I go about doing it?
We have appointments once a week. We spend 2, 3, 4 hours together. And then you ask us all the questions about our upbringing and all your life issues, and then the Lord give you revelation of things that we don't even know are inside of us. We had no clue, So
because you feel something is wrong spiritually.
Yes,
you feel that you have been going to church for many years.
And then Sunday morning, you have the
teachings.
The teachings
School of
here,
Prayer,
the School of Prayer. We spend even 4 hours on Sunday, which is unbelievable. How we are fed the Word of God and teaching us about everything that has to do with God.
And connecting.
Unbelievable, yes.
And having you
yes, and then after the service, then you sit with us, and we sit down all around, and you ask questions, what we learn. If you have any questions, we ask you. It's unbelievable.
So it's about connecting, because so many times people are not connected with their family. They feel rejected. They feel abandoned. Like for Sister Olga, I mean, you had some intense struggles growing up as a child because your mother died at the age of 6. So basically you were an orphan and you didn't have a mother, you didn't grow up with a mother, your father, there was many siblings and you grew up in Santo Domingo, but you basically grew up lost without really not that stability. So for the first 12 years of your life was shattered. And then here you became born again, you came into the church, and you have these intense abandonment issues, rejection issues, rebellion issues. I mean, the hurts and the pain has been there from losing your mother. And you had no clue that these issues were there so deep. If you had not taken the time, like you said, you went to Deliverance before, and they would just point out the demon. But still, you go home, but those deep issues were still there, blocking you from being the person that God created you to be, from being the mother that God created you to relate to your children, connect to your children, communicating to your children, from being the wife that God has created you to be. So this Deliverance counseling empowerment program has really
deep enough.
It did go deep. I mean, did you get results?
It go deep enough. This is the beginning, I know, but it's blowing me away how God is using your ministry.
Yeah, well, we give God praise, we give God glory. You know, I'm nothing without the Lord. I give God praise. I was here to serve you and your daughter and your family. We thank God. Would you recommend this program to to the people out there? I mean, what would you say to them?
If you are tired of living your life, tied up by the enemy, and you don't find a way out, and you are ready to give, like the pastor say, what are you willing to give? What are you willing to do for your deliverance? If you're ready, this is not for people that want to play to see, let me see if it's really work, let me see, and you want to keep sinning, you want to keep doing your that secret, you don't want nobody to know about. If you are ready, this is for you.
But deliverance is good for the soul, the mind, the emotions, the intellect, and the will. That is where the problem is. The problem is not in the spirit, because God is already, once we come born again, we have learned and discovered God is in our spirit. The problem is our soul. I mean, the junk that is in there, the junk that is in the soul that is hindering our spirit from growing, from developing, from hearing from God, for us, lining up with the Word of God and the will of God for our lives. And that is what's blocking us.
Because the spirit is willing, but the soul
is weak. Yeah, the flesh is weak, and we gotta. That's why Jesus died. He wants us to deal with ourselves, deal with the issues in our lives, and that is what a lot of people doesn't want. Olga, would you say to women? I mean, especially us as women, our task is great as women. We have children, we have marriage. I mean, we have all these things on our plates as women. And then yet still our soul is so messed up. How are we going to survive it? I mean, and we go to church, and that's great. Going to church, we don't want people to get us wrong. Like, we're not against going to church. It's good to go to church, but we cannot continue going to church with these issues and not be free. So the goal is when we go, like when you go back to Maryland on Tuesday, when you go to church and you go worship God and you go to your congregation, they can see that Olga has been working on herself. I mean, the freedom. When you go back to your husband, thank God for your husband who gave you the permission to be here with us for 2 months at the center to sort yourself out, to sort your problems out, to work on yourself. Because he said, you can't continue being a wife in this state. We can't continue like that. Otherwise, we're going to kill each other. Somebody has to work on themselves. Somebody has to take the initiative to step out. And you took the initiative and you say, if I have to stay in Orlando for 6 months, if I have to stay in the center for 1 year, if I have to stay in the center for 2 months, I am going to get myself some deliverance. I'm not coming back to this house unless I fix myself. And I thank God that your husband was very humble. And he was in Maryland. You allowed me to talk with him. We Skyped him in. And, he said, I'm in agreement for you to do this. So how do you feel going back home to your husband on Tuesday after being away for 2 months in rehabilitating your life, working on your attitude, working on your mind, working on the marriage, working with your daughter. How do you feel going back?
I am very excited because my spirit is gonna fight the enemy and all of these demons that have me, trapped. Because now I have a goal. Now I have a purpose. Now I have the tools I need. Now I know what to do to show him the love of God, to respect him, to do what he needs me to do, because it's not about me, it's not about him. It's about God. It's about my relationship with God. So I am very excited. I have to fight. I know I'm gonna win because God had already given me the victory through the blood of Jesus. But I have to do my part. So I know what to do, and I am gonna do it.
So the program gave you tools.
Amen.
It gave you tools that now you can go back and fight. So did the program give you an understanding of your bondage? Did counseling give you an understanding of your bondage?
Yes.
So our listeners want to know that.
Yes, I did not know when I came. We all have our own ideas, but I couldn't point to what it was. That was blocking me from more of God and was not allowing me to really love my husband like I wanted to love him. So the program, by you asking us questions and learning about us and learning about all our past and the present and all of this, God was able to, like I said before, give you understanding and knowledge, and you could point to the situations, to the things that have to do with my emotions, my intellect, my mind, my will, and how to fight it, and how to put your soul, which is the intellect, the mind, the emotions, and the will, how to put them under submission to the Spirit. Subjection to the Spirit. How to obey God and make them.
So we want to go a little deeper so our listeners can get some insight into our program. So does your mind feel freer? Does your emotion feel freer?
Yes.
I mean, did you get an understanding of when you get back into your home in Maryland, into your marriage? Do you understand your role as a wife?
Yes.
Do you understand your role as an individual person? Do you understand your relationship with God, and how for you to move into on a deeper level, on a greater level as a woman, not just going to church and playing church or playing religion, but as a woman, what is your role? I mean, what it is God requires of you as you sort yourself out, you dealt with yourself, you receive deliverance, you receive healing. And now it's not complete. We're still working. We're still going to be working via Skyping, and I'm going to be coming down to Maryland to have some sessions with you and your husband. But at the same time, you have an understanding, a clear picture of how to take yourself.
Amen.
So do you have that clear picture?
Yes, I have the clear picture. As you taught me and teach me and show me things about me and in the Bible, what it means in the Bible, because everything you're teaching is biblical. It's from the Bible. It's what God has for us in the Bible. So I would go home, I would pray what you show me about myself, what God was showing you. I will read the Bible. The Holy Spirit will give me more understanding with the verses He told me to read about in the Bible. And then I was feeling, we had 21-day fast that we're gonna finish Sunday. We began the 1st of January.
Right.
So as I go home and I study and meditate in my writings, things that you told me about, I will felt the freedom to be able to worship God, to be able to get in my knees and pray. Because I wasn't able to get in my knees and pray.
So the Deliverance Counseling Empowerment Program, it strengthens your relationship with God, and that's the key. It empowers you.
Yes.
So you feel empowered.
Yes.
You feel strengthened.
Yes.
You feel refreshed.
Yes.
And can you talk to us a little bit more about your relationship with your daughter? We were able to sort out a lot of issues between you and your daughter. So we are grateful to God. What was the key thing you learned as you move forward to Maryland, that is going to help you to really stay connected to your daughter, knowing what your daughter needs spiritually. I mean, what was the thing? Give us a few things from the counseling that you learned that's going to really help you, or that has helped you to strengthen the relationship with you and Dominic, which is your daughter.
To strengthen our relationship?
What are some of the things that you learn? What are some of the tools you get so you can start practicing that relationship with your daughter? Because now you have that, you all had that connection coming back to connect, but then you have to maintain it. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to maintain that? From some of the things that you learned from
what I see, like, first of all, I have to keep fighting for my, I have to keep finishing the program with you, and I have to keep fighting to be set free completely, because that's gonna also, like I said before, it's gonna
help her.
And as I see problems that she's going through, I see that in myself. Because one generation,
so you see the cycles, you saw the cycles, right.
So as I learn to give every day, give more the Holy Spirit permission in my life, and give myself to Him, she's also gonna be set free more every day. So our relationship to communicate and talk and trust each other is gonna be better every day as I keep doing my part.
Through the counseling, did you get to sort out a lot? Did we sort out a lot? Through the counseling, do you feel that now you have a foundation to start building that great relationship with your daughter? Did we get to work with the anger?
Well, it's like we haven't had any.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
Yet.
Yes, but we have had a lot of sessions, therapy sessions together. You didn't have the main session yet, but you still have an understanding of what took place and the bondage between you and your daughter. So the mother and daughter session has not been really, we have not put a date for that yet, because we still have to do that. But what I'm saying, that you still have an understanding of what really went on and know how to handle yourself, that you don't cause deeper hurt with your daughter. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think it was today that the Lord told us, me and the mother, right? Why, why was she behaving the way she was behaving and stuff like that? It's a mirror of myself.
Right. So what I'm saying, I don't think you answered my question correctly. Or maybe let me rephrase my question. What I'm saying, even if we have not had the mother and daughter session in 10 sessions yet, but we've had a lot of mini sessions. Let me say mini sessions with you and your daughter. Sometimes I'll have Dominic in by herself. Sometimes I have you in by yourself. And sometimes I have both of you together. But what my point I'm making is that now you know you got tools from the counseling how not to cause deeper anger or deeper hurt. So now you have an idea, or you have an understanding on how you're going to handle her, not to create more pain. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did you get that? Did you get that? Did you get that? What I'm saying? Did you get that? Those tools from counseling?
Yes, from the beginning. From the beginning, because before I used to think, well, she's 23 years old. She should behave like she's 23 years old. I was not understanding what she was going through, that she couldn't help herself. And I had the understanding of, learning how to treat her, how to talk to her, how not to expect things that she was not able to give me.
Well, you see, what I'm
knowledge.
Yes, and what I'm saying now, what I'm trying to get, we have listeners out there, we have young girls out there, we have parents out there who have a lot of problems with their mother and daughter. We just had father and daughter, Tamara from New Jersey. Now we have you from Maryland. So mother and daughter, father and daughter, who are dealing with intense anger. I mean, for the first 12 years of the child's life, I know even in my life, the first 12 years of my life was affected because I didn't have my dad in my life, and I grew up with my grandparents, and I explained it at length. So the children are being affected. And as parents, we think to just well, I gave you food, and well, I gave you clothes, and well, I send you to church, and you should be fine. I give you an education. But we go to church, just go and pray, and God look at why are you so angry, or why are you so rebellious? But we never stop to focus as parents and give ourselves permission as parents and allow our children to slow down, just slow down a minute, and allow our children to tell us what's affecting them, what's hurting them. We feel that because we give them food and clothes and they went to school and they get an education, that they should be fine. That's all they need. But really, that's the furthest thing from the truth, because they may have the education, they may have everybody, don't have you. They're not connecting with you. They're not close to you. They feel distance from you. And this is where I want to bring up that point.
Yes, I also learned that from the ministry here that the kids need us. So we need to be able to open up to them, to give ourselves to them, and to teach them also the way of God, to love God and all that. But if we give them money, things that they want, and we are not there for them, we don't feel that emptiness they have in their soul from the love. God created us with an emptiness that the mother has to feel, and an emptiness that the father has to feel. And when we don't have those feel, then we grow up being angry. And
I believe that was Jesus' ministry, where it is not just preaching to people, because what we have here is intense ministry. It's on a daily basis. It's not just preaching to you, but it's to have you in deliverance counseling, whether it's a marital counseling, whether it's mother and daughter counseling, stress therapy, whatever it is. And it's to give you an understanding of your bondage, so you can start breaking free, so you can start taking back your life from the enemy, or taking back your life from situations. I know for sure your daughter Dominic is feeling much better, knowing that you came and you made that big sacrifice, and you remained in the deliverance center, and you stayed there for 2 months consistently, faithfully, working on yourself, and working on the issues with your daughter. Even if we're still in the program, we have not gotten the heart of it yet, because it's a year program, and you both are going to be there. She's going to work on herself, you're going to work on yourself, and enhance mother and daughter relationship. And that's just more than just going to church, because at the end you guys want to be healthy. God died. Jesus wants us to be healed. He wants us to be whole. He wants us to be healthy. So is there anything you want to say to your Spanish community? I don't speak Spanish. I understand a little bit, that you can really, those who are going to be watching us and viewing us, and we want to make this ministry available to them. And we want you to be able to tell them, that there is help. Help is available.
Bueno, este es un ministerio que para mí me ha salvado la vida. Yo estuve varios años llorando, pidiéndole a Dios liberación, pidiéndole a Dios un lugar donde me pudieran ayudar, y yo no encontraba ayuda en ningún lugar. Entonces, para mí esto ha sido un milagro de Dios, para mí y para mi hija, y de que la pastora se encuentre aquí en Florida, en Orlando, cerca de Orlando, ha sido más que un milagro. Queda media hora de la casa de mi hija, y el Espíritu Santo, si tú estás listo, si tú quieres más de Dios, estar dispuesto a ser liberado, te enseña la pastora. No te da un pescado a comer, ella te enseña cómo pescar. Te enseña cómo salir de la depresión, te enseña cómo salir de si tienes la ira, si tienes todo tipo de cosas que te impiden más de Dios en tu vida. Tú tienes que querer ser liberado completamente para poderle servir a Dios, para poderle dar frutos al Señor.
One of the things I always say, Sister Olga, for the past 20 years of my ministry, and even in my own personal life, I had an intense desire to grow as a person. And I believe that God placed that in my heart from a little girl. My heart desire was to serve God.
Amen.
It wasn't just to go to church without success or without personal success and personal progress. I am a big believer on personal success and personal progress. And I mean, my mom could tell you I was very determined. I was a determined girl that I was going to be successful personally, because I realized that you can have a big house, you can have all the material things, but you are hurting. And I remember as a little girl growing up, Sister Olga, I hate having the pain on the inside. I hate the fact I was feeling unloved. I hate the fact I was feeling rejected. I hate that feeling on the inside. And I remember one time I came from church, And when I came home, I became so angry. And that's what I live for. That's why I love to do what I do. I just come from church, and I came home, went to my bedroom, and I started feeling that sadness on the inside. I started feeling rejected. I started feeling my mom was there. My mom was being good to me, and I mean, my mom took care of me financially. But yet still, I felt that void. I felt that anger. I became so angry. I remember my mom came in the room, in my bedroom, and I snapped at her. I was taking off my clothes from church, to put my, my home clothes on. And I don't know what she said. I couldn't remember what, but she said something. It was just something simple, but I just snapped at her. She's like, Paula, I cannot believe you just, and that got my attention. She's like, Paula, I cannot just believe you just came from church and you acting like the devil already. Girl, you just came from church. You hardly take off your clothes. You still have your clothes on. But why are you behaving like that? Why are you so angry? And I mean, she would tell me, why are you so upset? Why are you so angry? But I was still young and I couldn't figure out or sort out what the problem was on the inside until when my ex-husband came into my life and and we were dating, we were courting, and I started telling him about my childhood. I said, and he said, Paula, you really don't have a closeness with your mom. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because that there's so much anger between you guys, and you guys really have not bonded. And I would tell my mom, I don't feel close to you. I don't feel bonded. And I remember when we were moving to Canada, and I started going to really intense counseling in Canada. Then the counselor revealed to me, there are some intense issues between you and your mom. Because I didn't raise with her, I was raised with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And I had to deal with myself. I had to face it. And I think that was one of the best gifts I given myself, was to deal with the first 12 years of my life and to deal with my childhood issues. And I remember when I started dealing with myself and getting counseling, I began to develop a desire and a love for it. I wanted to go all the time. I wanted to know more. Every day I wanted the counselor to reveal to me more. I want the junk out of me. I say, Lord, every morning I'll wake up 4 o'clock. I was desperate. I said, God, I want that junk out of Paula. I don't want that unforgiveness no more. I don't want that anger no more. I don't want that pain no more. I need an understanding of my situation so I can break through. And I believe I always had a heart to serve God and a heart to serve others and a heart to serve people. And I remember when I was in counseling in Canada, I remember the professor told me, the counselor told me, say, Paula, there is a strong call on your life for counseling, and you're going to help others to. And I always encourage people to work on the first 12 years of your life because you are the product of the first 12 years of your life. Mm-hmm. And I'm not ashamed of what Jesus Christ has done. And I thank you for being on the program today. And I know that you're not ashamed of what God has done in your life and in the life of your daughter. So do you have a last word before we close?
Bueno, ¿qué les diré? I'm going to say in English after I finish. Mm-hmm. ¿Qué les diré? Si viven en esta área, en el área de Florida, aquí tienen este ministerio, es una bendición grandísima de que están en este mismo estado. Si viven lejos, pueden llamarla, también pueden tener por forma de video, pueden tener las citas. Es una bendición muy grande. Aprovechen la bendición. Like I was saying in Spanish, this is a great opportunity that God has given the people in Orlando. If you live in Florida, I'm in Maryland. 16 hours driving here. I have to take an airplane. But if you live in Florida, don't take it for granted. This is a ministry. It's very, very difficult to find a person that is able, willing to give their life to God and sit down with you and help you. Other ministries will just go in the surface and you are not going to be completely set free. So I just encourage everybody on the internet. The pastor is available on video if you're not able to come here. In depends of the case, she can fly and spend 2-3 days with you in your state where you are. You can come and fly and come here 2-3 days. And just don't take it for granted. This is a big, huge blessing that God has given us with this ministry.
Well, you know, one of the things we give God praise here at Impact Deliverance Center, we are a ministry that rehabilitates lives. We build back lives, and we build back the walls, and people are experiencing miracles, signs, and wonders in their lives. They're experiencing change. Like God has really transformed your life, Olga. You will never be the same again. Neither you or your daughter. And I'm so happy for the both of you that you guys are going to begin to develop a mother and daughter relationship. Your relationship with God is going to get stronger. And now you have an understanding of your bondage. And you have the tools now. We equip you at Impact. We educate you. We equip you. We train you. We empower you now to take your life back. And for that, we give God the praise. All the glory goes to God. But if you're listening to me as we close, and you're in the Orlando area, you are in Lake Mary, you are in even Georgia, because it's very, you can walk, you can drive. It's not too far from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. But if you're in the Orlando area and the surrounding areas and you need my services, and you say, Prophetess, I need your services. I am in church. You could be a pastor. You could be in the marketplace, a lawyer, a doctor, and you said, I need your services. I am depressed. I am struggling in my marriage. Here's Olga. She's not ashamed to tell you. She got the permission from her husband, and she left Maryland, and she checked into our rehabilitation center. That's what rehab is all about. Sometimes rehab keep you for 7 months based on the intensity of your issues, based on how much work they have to do with you. They keep you for 7 months. They want to make sure you understand your struggles. They make sure they diagnose your problems, intensively, so you could understand your diagnosis. And they make sure you understand before they can release you. They want you to get strong before they can release you. And that's what rehab is all about. And that's what our Deliverance Rehabilitation Center is all about. And now I'm able to release Olga to go back home to Maryland to be with her husband, because now she's empowered. Now she has worked on her relationship with she and her daughter, and she's still in process. They are still in process, and she understands her responsibility as a wife and how for her to posture herself in her marriage, understand her relationship with God, and understand her purpose, why she go to church. So now when she go back to church, when she goes back to the house of God, she has more meaning. And she begin to focus on her purpose and her destiny, not just going to church struggling, not just going to church crying, not just going at the altar Sunday after Sunday with no meaning, but now she's going back to serve God, and she's going back not as a liability, but as an asset to the body of Christ, and to her marriage, and to her family, and to her community. So we give God the praise, we give God the glory. If you need my services, you may be a pastor, you may say, Prophetess, I just need your ministry into my church. I can come in to do a seminar, a weekend seminar, 3-day seminar. You say, well, I just need personal ministry. I need personal counseling. I need personal coaching and mentorship. I'm available to help you. You can reach me at 321-247-5685. That's 321-247-5685. And also you can visit my website. We have a great website at www.impactdeliverance.org. And I'll ask Dominic in the background if she can put those information for you on the screen. Dominic, can you please put the phone number on the screen so you can have the screen and also the website. And I would like you to stay connected with us. Follow the ministry. We have a Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning we're here at Heathrow Lake Mary. We're here every Sunday at School of Prayer and Spiritual Warfare, Impact Deliverance Center. Our School of Prayer and Spiritual Warfare come on live every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at 11:30 a.m. And here at Impact, we are here from 10 o'clock, from 10 a.m. And it's intense ministry. It's an intense, I call it intense treatment, intense ministry to take your life back from the enemy so you can move forward. And one of the things, Olga, I admire about you, 2018 is for risk takers. And you took a risk, come to Orlando, don't know what to expect. You got my ministry, but you said, I need deliverance. I need deeper deliverance. I don't need a surface deliverance anymore. I've been through surface deliverance. I need a deep ministry. I need someone to get to the pain. I need someone to diagnose my problem.
Amen.
And that's what God has given you
Amen.
here at the center. that we were able to diagnose your problem. And now you're going, you have a diagnosis, you have tools, you receive intense ministry for the past 2 months. And for that we give God praise, because that's Jesus' ministry. And now you are healed. God is healing you in the process, delivering you, setting you free. And now you have a purpose why you go to church. What's the purpose why you go to church? You're not going to go to church depressed and sad, feeling lost in the congregation, and not having a sense of purpose and destiny. I mean, talk to me for a moment. Talk to our audience for a moment. Now you're going back with a sense of purpose and destiny.
Well, I see that God wants to set us free for us to be able to serve Him, to set others free. For us to be able to see the purpose why He created us, why He brought us to this world. It's not about me, it's not about my husband, it's about Jesus. To show others the love of God, to show others the light of God, for them to be saved and for them to be set free.
Right. So we thank you for joining us as we come to the end of our broadcast today, School of Deliverance and Spiritual Warfare. And those of you who desire to be free, we are still early. It's still the first month of the year. And you may say, Prophetess Paula, this year opened me stuck. This year I opened with no direction. I have no meaning. I have no purpose for my life. And I just need meaning. I just need purpose for my life. Well, there is help available. God has sent help for you. We do intense rehabilitation here. We have an intense deliverance counseling and empowerment program here. And it goes to the root of the problem. And I need you to give me the permission to minister to you. Give me the permission to coach you and to mentor you and to counsel and to help you. Because I guarantee you that your life will never be the same again. Like Olga said, this ministry is a lifesaver. And I tell you, it has saved my life for the past 20-something years. It has saved my life. And that's why I'm passionate about it. I love what God has called me to do. I have remained faithful to the call and faithful to the work. And I love setting the captives free. And what I live for, Olga, and that's why I live. And that's why I do what I do, is to see you have a smile on your face, see you have purpose, have a sense of purpose, a sense of destiny, clean out the mess, bulldoze the junk, so you can see clearly what God wants from you 2018. So we give God praise. Well, it was nice being with you today. Share this video on your page. Like it, give us your comments. We always welcome your comments. And tell a friend about what God is doing here at Impact Deliverance Center. And I want to thank Olga. Thank you for the Spanish community. Olga is a great, she's going to do the translation in Spanish for me. So I thank God. And Olga, I know I'm going to miss you. You're leaving on Tuesday next week. We still have the weekend together, but you're leaving Tuesday next week. And I'll be hoping to be with you in Maryland soon. I'll see you soon in Maryland. But thank you again for coming and giving me the permission to minister to your family. I appreciate you so very much. And thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, bye. See you next week. Bye-bye.